What's up guys, Jeremiah here and welcome back to the channel. Growing up, I was always told that I needed to save my money for a rainy day. And I actually had this really big jar that I would use to put all the little cents and stuff I would get into, hoping that one day I'd have enough money to buy a new pair of Jordans so I could look cool at school, or even just go on like vacation or Six Flags or something, because I always wanted to do that. I had an uncle that he would store his money in a shoebox in his closet, and I actually never went into it, but I always knew it was there because I would see him go into his room and take it down and throw dollars in it. You don't do that, by the way. Essentially, I grew up learning only how to save money and not about leverage, cash flow, and ROI. And more on that later. With inflation on the rise and the market basically in free fall, right? Hitting lows that we haven't even seen since March of 2020. I smell opportunity. So you should stop saving. But before we get into what you should be doing instead, please hit that like button below and subscribe. It would greatly help the channel. I'm getting my YouTube algorithm off the ground. I'm a new channel. I want to get this information in front of people who are just like you, who are interested in topics around wealth creation and finance. Back to the video. So really, there are three things that you should be doing if you're not already doing them. Numero uno, eliminate bad debt. U.S. debt soared 52 billion in March alone, and U.S. consumer debt is approaching $5 trillion.
Jesus Christ.
Regardless of if we're in a bear market or stocks are going to the moon, cash is king, and net positive cash flow is the goal. The more positive your cash flow, the more money you have at your disposal to build wealth. Eliminating your consumer debt is the best way to help you experience positive cash flow in your life. Number two, take that cash flow, all that positive net cash flow that you now have because you are debt free, and grow it. I've always found that if you don't direct the bag, it always goes missing somehow. At Starbucks, in your cousin's Cash App wallet, or even buying the new Snoop Dogg skin on Warzone. Stop saving and start investing. With inflation the highest that it's been since 1981, you need to be investing instead of saving. If you don't have your dollars working for you, you are getting behind. Your dollars are becoming less and less over time. So I found this little cool calculator on the internet. If I purchased something for $1 back in 2020 and tried to buy it today, it would ultimately cost me $1.12. And that's only 2 years. You can imagine how this will add up if you're trying to pay for a house, buy a car, or simply pay for everyday expenses like gas and subscription services that you probably really don't even really need. With only half of black adults invested and the top 10% owning 80% of all the stocks, now is better than ever to get skin in the game.
But I mean, Jeremiah, we're in a recession, so why would I be just donating my money to the market?
So actually, data shows that 3 years out from recession, you'll see an average annual return of 11.9%. 5 years out, 12.3%. Only one other time since 1957 has the market been down 1 year after a recession, and that was the bear market between 2000 and 2002. Recessions are a fact of life, and based on our history, we should get used to them coming every 4 to 10 years. But disclaimer, there is nothing wrong with saving. Take Dave Ramsey's advice and pay yourself first. It is always better to save than to spend. But if you're interested in creating wealth, you must invest. Funds like VTI and VOO and SWPPX, index funds, are a great way to diversify and also get some skin in the game. These funds will follow the market with little to no fees, and it basically takes all of the stress out of actually picking individual stocks and losing your butt because you decided to go all in on AMC, for instance. These funds will follow the market with little to no fees, and it essentially allows you a bucket of stocks so you don't have to stress about the volatility of choosing individual ones. If you decide to buy individual stocks because you saw Elon tweeting about it or you heard it was
Going to the moon,
that's on you. Again, the safest way to get started in the market is to invest in stable ETFs and index funds. So you got your cash flow up, you know what you're gonna invest in, so what's next? Number 3, dollar cost averaging. So dollar cost averaging is an investment strategy that essentially
divides up the total amount you want to invest within a particular asset over a period of time so that you reduce the impact of volatility on your purchase.
Let's get into it. So the key here is the purchases of your overall asset are going to happen on a set schedule regardless of if the asset is up or down. So I found this really cool example online to drive the point away. So say that you're this guy, you have $8,000 and you're just going to throw it all in the market at once. So you buy an asset at that price. In this example, the asset is worth $10 a share. So in August, the return on this lump sum investment is going to be $0 because you've basically rode the market up and down for that asset. If you were to have dollar cost averaged $1,000 a month within that same time period, the same amount of money but invested over a period of time, you would have actually saw a return on your investment monthly of 4%. That allowed you to catch some of the down on your asset as well, which is the key here, right? Because you're not trying to time the market, you're just more interested in getting your dollars to work for you on a budget, which is what a lot of us need in order to stay consistent and allowing some of our money to work for us for wealth creation.
And it ain't sexy, but it works.
When you're getting started in investing, the most important thing is that you're starting to become consistent about saving money for your future. Dollar cost averaging is one of the most proven ways to build wealth. Instead of your money sitting in a saving account, not doing anything and just taking the very minimum percentage interest that the bank decides to give you, you're allowing your money to accumulate in the market and you're also getting exposure to the upsides of the market. So to recap, step 1, eliminate your personal debt to increase your positive cash flow. Number 2, take that cash flow and then grow it by investing. And 3, grow it by dollar cost averaging. So to close, just simply be focused on investing long term and allow your portfolio to experience the greatness of the compound effect, baby. Accumulation and exposure. Peace.